I thought I knew who I was until I found a photo that didn't belong in my life. Then came the letter from a man I never met, claiming to be my real father. Now I'm caught between two lives, two names, and I have to choose who I really am. They say most secrets don't stay buried forever. I just didn't expect mine to start unraveling on my 17th birthday with a photo. It was a small, square photo, tucked inside a folded card from my mom. The card said the usual, "We're so proud of you. We love you so much." But when I pulled the photo out, something froze inside me. It was a picture of me, a baby, maybe 9 months old, in a woman's arms. But the woman wasn't my mom. At least, not the mom who raised me. Her face wasn't familiar. Not exactly. But something about her eyes made my stomach twist, like I'd seen them before. In the background of the photo, I recognized something else. Our street. Our neighborhood. Even our mailbox. Just a few houses down from where I'd grown up my entire life. I waited until after dinner to ask, "Hey, who's this?" I asked, trying to sound casual as I handed my mom the photo. She stared at it for too long. "Oh," she said, "that's your aunt. From a long time ago." I narrowed my eyes. "Which aunt?" She hesitated. "Distant. You wouldn't know her. She moved away years ago." Her voice was too quick, too rehearsed. Something was off. Later that night, I pulled the photo back out and flipped it over. There was writing on the back, neat, clean handwriting. Not my mom's. "With my sweet baby Noah, September 2007. Noah, my name is Daniel." The next day, I skipped school and walked the neighborhood. The photo kept pulling at my brain. The background was so familiar. And then I saw her. She was walking out of a small brick house 2 streets away, carrying groceries. Same eyes, same nose, same smile. I stopped walking. I'd never seen her before in my life. And yet something deep in my chest knew her, like my body remembered her before my brain did. She looked up. Our eyes locked. And in that second, I saw something flicker in her face. Recognition. Then, just as fast, she turned and walked back inside. That night, I couldn't sleep. My heart was racing. My thoughts spiraled. I waited until my parents went to bed. Then I opened the filing cabinet in Dad's office. He always locked it, except when he forgot. I found the drawer with my name on it. Inside, hospital records, vaccine slips, school files, and one sealed envelope. It had no label, just a name written on the back. For Daniel, if he ever finds out. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside was a folded letter, and what I read changed everything. "Daniel, if you're reading this, then the truth has found you. We wanted to wait until you were old enough, until you could understand. You were adopted at 9 months old. Your birth mother, Claire, lived just a few houses away. It wasn't a legal adoption. It was a private arrangement. She wasn't ready. We were desperate to be parents. We thought it was the right thing for everyone. Maybe it was, but we should have told you. Mom and Dad." I sat there for hours. Not crying, not yelling, just numb. I was adopted, and the woman who gave me away had lived 2 streets away my whole life. She'd probably passed me on the sidewalk, seen me playing in the park, watched me grow up from a distance, and never said a word. The next morning I walked to her house, not sure what I was going to say, not sure if I'd even speak. But when I knocked on her door, she opened it almost immediately, like she'd been expecting me. Her eyes welled with tears, and then she whispered, "You came." Her house smelled like vanilla and books. Not in a nostalgic, cozy way. More like a childhood you don't remember, but still miss. Claire, that was her name, my real mother, looked 10 years older than I expected. Tired eyes, kind smile, nervous hands. She invited me in like it was the most natural thing in the world. "You probably have a million questions," she said softly. I did, but I couldn't form any of them. I just sat on the edge of the couch, the photo clenched in my hand. "Is it true?" I asked. "What the letter said?" She nodded slowly. "Yes, you are mine. You are mine." I didn't know how to respond. I wanted to scream, to cry, to storm out. But her voice was so calm, so broken. I was 19. Your father was not ready. Neither was I. I thought giving you to someone who could raise you was the best thing I could do. I wasn't strong enough to be a mother then. She paused, wiping at her eyes. "I still remember the day I handed you to your parents. You didn't cry. You just looked up at me." I knew I'd never recover from that moment. I looked around her living room. There were photos, none of them with children. No signs of a family. Just her. "Why didn't you move away?" I asked. I tried, she said, but something kept me here. I wanted to watch you grow up, even from a distance. I saw your first steps, your first day of school. I came to your soccer games, sat in the back of the stands. I swallowed hard. So, you've been watching me all this time? Yes, and hoping that one day, maybe you'd come knock on my door. The emotions hit all at once. Anger, betrayal, guilt, sadness, confusion. I didn't know what to believe. So I asked the question I'd been avoiding. Did my parents know? Did they really just raise me like nothing happened? She hesitated. And that was enough of an answer. They knew everything, she said. We agreed to keep it quiet. To protect you. But they promised me they'd tell you. When the time was right. When the time was right. I was 17. And the only reason I found out was by accident. They lied to me, I said aloud, the words tasting bitter. Claire placed a hand on mine. They didn't lie to hurt you. They loved you. I gave you to them because I believed they would. I pulled my hand away. Yeah, well, they failed. Because now I don't know who I am. Am I Daniel? Am I Noah? Am I yours or theirs? She looked like she wanted to answer, but didn't. Instead, she said something unexpected. You can come by any time. No pressure. You deserve to know your story, all of it. But take your time. I'll be here. I left without saying goodbye. My legs felt like they were moving through sand. My head was spinning. And when I got home, the front door was unlocked. My mom was sitting on the couch, holding the photo. Eyes red, the letter lying open beside her. She looked up as I walked in. So, you know. I didn't answer. I wanted to tell you so many times, she said, voice shaking. But we were scared. Scared we'd lose you. You lost me the moment you lied. She flinched. It wasn't a lie, she said. It was protection. No, I snapped. It was control. You raised me in a lie. You let me think I belonged to you. My dad came in from the kitchen, hearing the noise. He looked at us. At the letter. At the photo. And then he said what I least expected. We were wrong. My mom turned to him shocked. David. No, he deserves the truth now. He looked at me. We didn't adopt you legally. It was private. Quiet, no paperwork. We thought we were doing the right thing. We raised you as ours because to us, you were ours. I stared at him. Am I even a citizen? Do I even have a birth certificate? He nodded. We registered you under a new name. Daniel. Everything was arranged. Claire agreed. I didn't know what to say. I felt like a puzzle missing a dozen pieces. But the picture had already changed. I don't trust either of you anymore. My mom started to cry. My dad stayed silent. And I walked upstairs, locked the door, and didn't come out for hours. That night, I stared at my reflection in the bathroom mirror. Who am I? I whispered. But the reflection didn't answer. It just stared back, looking just as lost as I felt. The next morning, Claire texted me. If you want to know more, I'll tell you everything. But only if you're ready. I wasn't ready, but I went anyway. Her house felt different this time. Less like a stranger's home. More like a version of the life I might have had. Photos on the walls I hadn't noticed before. Her with friends. College graduation, holding a tiny baby in faded Polaroids. Me? So, we sat at her kitchen table, drinking tea neither of us touched. You want to know about your father, she said. I didn't answer, but she continued anyway. His name is Marcus. He didn't want kids. When I told him I was pregnant, he said it wasn't his problem. He moved away before you were even born. I stared at my hands. So? He doesn't know I exist? She shook her head. I don't think he cares. There was no bitterness in her voice, just quiet defeat. He was charming, funny, dangerous in a way. I didn't see until it was too late. She slid a small photo across the table. A man, maybe 20, dark eyes, half smiling at the camera. He looked nothing like me, but also maybe everything like me. He never came back, she said. And I never looked for him. I nodded. But I couldn't help wondering, if he had stayed, would my life have been better? Worse? The same? And then came the question I never thought I'd ask. Do you want me now? She blinked, stunned. What? Do you want to be my mom? Like, actually? Not just the woman who gave birth to me. Claire reached across the table and grabbed my hand. Daniel, I've always wanted you. I never stopped. That was the moment something broke inside me. All these years, I thought my life was stable, safe, real. And now I had two mothers. One who raised me, one who let me go. And both of them loved me, in different, devastating ways. That night I came home late. My adoptive mom was waiting on the couch, eyes red, shoulders slumped. "Daniel," she said, "we need to talk." I sat down across from her. "I know everything now," I said. "Claire told me." She nodded. "You have every right to be angry." I didn't answer. "But I need you to understand something," she continued. "You are not a mistake. We didn't steal you. We didn't trick you. We gave you a home. We loved you. We still do. So now what?" I asked. "Do I just pretend none of this happened?" She looked down. Then softly, "You have to choose." "What?" "You can't live in both worlds, Daniel. If you want to know Claire, really know her, we'll give you space. But it's too painful to keep pretending everything's the same. So you're giving me an ultimatum." She looked like I'd slapped her. "No, I'm giving you the truth. For once." That night, I packed a small bag. I didn't know where I was going. Claire's house, a friend's couch, anywhere but here. As I zipped it shut, my dad came into the room. He didn't try to stop me, didn't even raise his voice, just placed a photo on my bed. It was me, at 6, missing a tooth, laughing in the snow. "No matter what name is on your birth certificate," he said, "you will always be my son." He turned and walked away, and I sat there, bag in hand, completely shattered. I didn't go to Claire's that night. I walked the streets, 2 blocks up, back down, over and over, between the house I was raised in and the house I was born from, back and forth, like a ghost stuck between 2 timelines, 2 versions of the same boy, until the sun came up. And I still hadn't chosen. The whispers started at school. Not loud, not obvious, just enough to feel. Hallways went quiet when I walked by. Group chats stopped including me. People I'd known for years suddenly acted like I was a stranger. Jake, my best friend since 4th grade, pulled me aside one afternoon. "Dude, I heard some crazy stuff. People are saying you're not even who you say you are." I clenched my jaw. "What does that even mean?" "That you're adopted. That your real mom lives like 2 blocks away. That your whole life's been a lie." I wanted to punch something. "It's none of their business." He hesitated. "Is it true?" I didn't answer. And that was enough. "Man, I don't even know what to say." "Then don't say anything." I walked away before he could respond. The next few days were a blur. Claire texted. My adoptive mom left notes outside my door. My dad knocked once, then gave up. Everything felt fractured. Every mirror showed a different version of me, none of which I recognized. Then came the letter. Claire handed it to me in an envelope, sealed and aged. "This came a week ago," she said. "I didn't know if I should give it to you, but I think you need to see it." The handwriting on the front was sharp, angled, masculine. "To Noah, if he ever finds me." My heart stopped. Inside was a single sheet of paper, written in blue ink. "Noah, I don't know if Claire ever told you about me. I don't expect forgiveness. I left when I shouldn't have. I was a coward. I didn't think I could be a father. And then I found out you existed, and that I'd missed it all. I wanted to reach out sooner. I didn't. That's on me. I'm not here to ask for anything. I just want you to know, I regret everything. If you want to talk, here's my number. If not, I understand. Marcus!" I stared at the letter for what felt like hours. My birth father, the ghost I'd been told didn't care, now writing to me, reaching out, regretting. Was he telling the truth? Or was this another trap? Another adult trying to rewrite the past with convenient guilt? Claire swore she hadn't contacted him. But how else would he know? That night, I sat on the edge of my bed and stared at the letter again. It felt like every part of my identity was being rewritten by people I barely knew, or no longer trusted. Jake had stopped texting. My adoptive mom had gone quiet. Claire was trying her best, but even she didn't know how to guide me through this. And Marcus, this stranger with my blood, had sent a letter that shattered what little certainty I had left. I picked up my phone, typed the number in. My thumb hovered over the call button. I didn't press it. Not yet. Instead, I called Jake. He picked up reluctantly. "Yeah?" "I'm still me," I said. "What?" "I'm still me. I might not be who you thought I was, but I'm still Daniel. Or Noah, or whatever. I'm still the guy who shared fries with you every Friday. Still the guy who helped you cheat in Mr. Benson's math class." He was silent for a second. "Okay," he finally said. "Okay, you're still you." And for the first time in days, I felt something like solid ground. The next day, I stood outside Claire's house again. She opened the door before I knocked. I held up the letter. "Tell me everything." From the beginning. No more soft truths. No more edited versions. She nodded. You deserve that. And I stepped inside, not as a visitor this time, but as someone trying to reclaim a life he never even knew he'd lost. The phone rang only twice. Hello? His voice was lower than I expected, calmer, almost too calm. Is this Marcus? I asked. Silence. Yeah, he said, it is. I froze. There were so many things I wanted to say. A storm of questions and anger and confusion. But nothing came out. Is this Noah? He asked carefully. Or Daniel? Both, I said. I guess. Another pause. Then softly. I've thought about this moment for 17 years. Yeah? I said, my voice cold. Did you imagine it'd be over the phone? He sighed. I didn't imagine it'd happen at all. We agreed to meet the next day. Neutral place, a cafe downtown. I sat by the window, heart pounding. He was late. Then he walked in. He looked older than in the photo Claire gave me. Tired eyes. Graying beard. Hands that shook slightly when he reached for the coffee. You look just like your mother, he said. I wouldn't know, I replied. The words came out sharper than I meant. I deserve that, he nodded. We sat in silence for a moment. Why now? I finally asked. Why write to me after all this time? Because I saw your name somewhere online. A school list. A photo. I knew. And I realized I missed my only chance. He looked up. I was scared back then. I ran. And now you want what? Redemption? Forgiveness. He didn't answer. Just looked at me. I don't want to rewrite anything, he said. I just want to know who you are, even if it's too late. We talked for over an hour, about nothing and everything. He told me about his life. Never married. Bounced between jobs. Regrets stacked like unpaid bills. He didn't ask for anything, not even for a second chance. And maybe that's what made it worse. That night, I sat with both letters. The one from Claire and the one from Marcus. Two people who gave me life, but didn't live it with me. And two people who, for all their flaws, were finally facing me. Raw, human, real. I went to see Claire again. Told her about Marcus. He met you? She whispered. How was it? Strange, I said. Not awful. Not amazing. Just real. She nodded, then looked me in the eyes. And what about me? She asked. Do I still get to be part of your life? I didn't have an answer. Later that week, I stood in the doorway of the house I grew up in. My mom, my adoptive mom, opened the door. Her eyes were tired. You look thinner, she said softly. You eating? I nodded. She stepped aside. Come in, just for a minute. She made tea. We sat at the same kitchen table where I once did homework. Cried over scraped knees, ate birthday cake. I want to hate you, I said. For lying to me, for hiding everything. I know. But I can't, I whispered. Because you were the one who stayed. Her eyes filled with tears. You are my son, Daniel. No matter what. I went home that night to Claire's house, because for now that was home too. I looked in the mirror again. And this time I didn't ask, who am I? I just looked and breathed. Graduation day came faster than I expected. Cap and gown. Pomp and circumstance. Names being read over the mic. Daniel Noah Hart. My name. All of it. I looked out into the crowd and saw all three of them. Claire, standing quietly near the back. Marcus, hands in his pockets, head lowered. And my mom and dad, the ones who raised me, front row. All of them, in the same space, none of them saying a word, but all of them watching me. I gave my speech. Simple, honest, no cliches. Sometimes the people who give you life aren't the ones who shape it. And sometimes the truth comes late, but that doesn't make it less true. I've spent the last year asking, who am I? But maybe the better question is, who do I want to be? And today, I choose. I stepped down from the podium, and for the first time, I felt free. A few weeks later, I legally filed to change my name. Not to erase anything, but to embrace everything. Daniel Noah Hart. Hart, from the people who raised me. Noah, the child Claire never stopped loving. A name that wasn't about choosing sides, but about choosing myself. Marcus moved back out of state. He sends a birthday text every year. Claire and I talk every Sunday. And my mom, the one who bandaged my knees and stayed up on sick nights. She still leaves tea by my door when I visit. Not everything was forgiven, but everything was seen. And that was enough. Sometimes I still pass the house I grew up in. Other times I walk past Claire's street. But mostly I just walk forward, with my head high. And both names in my heart,